Hello, and welcome to Beyond the Surface. My name is Yaakov Ben Israel, and I'm the elder priest of the Culture Center of the New Covenant Congregation of Israel. You know, when you look upon the earth today and consider who really runs the earth today, all of the countries of the earth, you find out that it's the corporations of the world that drive all of the economies, the governments, and the media. And these are the things, the people rather, that makes the suggestions as to all of the products we use, the type cars we drive, the foods we eat, and everything that we have to spend money on, and they dictate to us subliminally and then openly most of the time all the things that we should be about. So it's the corporations of America and the world that drives all of the economies of the world. But all of these things was prophesied that would take place. The problem is, seeing that the corporations run all the economies of the earth, what they do is they use the church to keep people domesticated, and all these, like I said before, all these things was prophesied that was going to come upon the earth. And when you read these prophecies and look upon the earth, you can see that truly the creator of all things, Yahweh Elohim, is live, and he's in living color. And we can look out upon the earth today and see that all of the things that he told the holy prophets for his people to watch for, all of these things are coming to pass. Now, I know that most of you have heard about the New World Order. George Bush and Ronald Reagan and all the other presidents talked about the New World Order. Well, the New World Order that's being set up today is being set up in Europe, and it's called the EU. And what that is, it's to revive Holy Roman Empire that fell in 476 AD, and they divided the earth among all of the people on the earth except us, this so-called renamed Negro in America, who is actually the Hebrews. And when we look upon the earth today, we can very well see that we have become total consumers who don't produce anything, and we don't control any vast properties or any country on the world. But there's a reason for that. That's because of what our fathers did. But Yahweh is not going to leave us in the condition that that we are in today. He told Abraham this captivity was going to last 400 years, and when you look and see how the New World Order, the EU, is being put in place, and how much power that they carry along with their army, the United Nations, you can very well see that this thing is going down. It's going down according to exactly what the prophet said. But let me read something to you out of the book of Revelation. Now, some of these symbols you might not understand, but if you read the prophet Daniel, the angel interpreted these symbols to Daniel. I'm going to read Revelation 13, verse 1 through verse 10. And I stood upon the sands of the sea and saw an empire rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. Now, when you read your scripture, especially in Revelation 12, you'll find out that the 7 heads and 10 horns and 10 crowns are markings of the adversary, the devil, and these were kings that was going to come up on the earth from 606 BC up until the time that the Messiah would show up on the scene. And the empire, it says beast, but it's talking about the empire. And the empire which I saw was like unto a leopard. This was Alexander the Great. With the Greeks, it only took him 12 years to conquer the whole known earth at that time. This is why he was called a leopard. And his feet were as the feet of a bear. Well, the second empire upon the earth was the Medo-Persian Empire, which was controlled by Iran and Russia is still called the bear today. And his mouth, the mouth of a lion. Well, when you go back into the book of Daniel, you'll find out that the lion was Nebuchadnezzar, that ruled the earth from Iraq, old ancient Babylon is 25 miles north of Iraq. And when Saddam Hussein was elected, that's where he went and carved his name in the stones of Babylon. And he actually said that he was the direct successor of Nebuchadnezzar the Great. Verse 3, and I saw one of his heads as it was wounded to death, and the deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. Rome fell in 476 AD and received that deadly wound. Now Europe is putting the EU right back together again. Verse 4, and they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, and they worshipped the empire, saying, who is like unto this empire, and who is able to make war with him? And there was given him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 3½ years, which is the great tribulation period. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against Elohim, to blaspheme his name, his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. And this is a very interesting verse here, verse 7. Revelation 13 and verse 7, it says, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given to him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. So now we know that we have a one world order that rule all kindreds and nations. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the Lamb's book of life, slain from the foundation of the earth. If any man has an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. And he that kill with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Now, being in this captivity and not controlling any vast amount of wealth or territory, we can very well see that as a people, someone has been at war with us for over 400 years since we've been out of our land. Well, actually speaking, we came out of our land in 70 AD, and according to history, the Israelites were sold to the Ethiopians to work in the salt mines, and it was the Africans who rounded us up and sold us to the British, Spanish, Portuguese, and Dutch for slaves in America. And we know that America, the wealth of America, was built up in free labor on the back of our forefathers, and even today we still suffer just as much as our forefathers. We tried to integrate, we are being rejected. But the thing of the matter is this: America is the most powerful nation on the earth. And when you get back in history and see who it was that had Benjamin, Judah, and Levi in captivity, they were the powerfulest nation on the earth, and they were the first nations to fall. But in order for Europe and Asia and the rest of the world to set up this new world order, America has to be destroyed, and truly, according to the Bible, America will be the first country that will be destroyed, and we can see her coming apart at the seams now, and she's got her hands in everybody's business on the world. As a matter of fact, the world call her global cop. But let me read something to you all about the fall of America, and according to the Bible, Russia is going to destroy America in 1 hour and 1 day. As a matter of fact, when Nikita Khrushchev was Prime Minister of Russia and Dwight D. Eisenhower was President of the United States, it was Khrushchev at the United Nations in New York City that told the United Nations concerning America that we are going to bury America. It's given to us by prophecy. Well, let me read one of these prophecies. Now, if you're interested in those prophecies, it's Isaiah 13, Isaiah 47, Jeremiah. Read some things to you out of the prophet John the Revelator and see what he said about America's destruction. Revelation 18 and verse 1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hole of every foul spirit, and the cage of hate for bird. Well, when you really look at America, you can come to America and practice any kind of religion you want. You can do just away with it if you got enough money to pay you a good lawyer. It's more crime committed in America than in any other country on the earth. Well, what do you expect? The church tell people we're not under the law, we are under the grace, we are under grace, and they've even taken the Ten Commandments out of the judicial system. So we can very well see America is falling apart at the seams. The thing of it is, what is going to happen to this so-called Negro? When America is before she comes under attack, people are going to start going, where are we going to go? The Africans sold us, so you know they're not going to let no 20 or 30 million of our people in their country. Let me finish this up. For all nations, this is our Revelations 18 and verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, which is democracy, and all the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from the heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, that you receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Elohim has remembered her iniquity. And what is her? When we look on the earth in America, we can see that crime, which is really sin, is running rampant on the earth, and even when we look at the legal system is so snarled up that they never will get this thing untangled. That's why they're building more prisons. That's why they've closed these military bases, so they have some places to put our people in when the deal goes down here in America. Verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Elohim has remembered her iniquities. Reward her as she has rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. In the cup which she has filled, fill it to her double. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I said, no widow. Sorrow. America has never come under any serious attack by, as far as armies are concerned, by a former nation. But that's because Yahweh has us here to protect us because of who our people are. In way, death, and mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is Yahweh Elohim, who judge her. And all the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament her when they shall see her, the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, America, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is her judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth her merchandise any more. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and thine wood and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of precious wood and all brass and iron and marble and sinners and cinnamon and odor, all the things that are produced by corporate America. These are the things that has made the nations of the earth rich. And according to the scripture, she has to go. She has to fall so that Yahweh Elohim can get everybody back where they were in the beginning over in Europe, Asia, and Africa. And then once this happened, 3.5 years after Lucifer is thrown out of heaven and in the book of Revelation, this will bring on the return of the Messiah to redeem his people from all over the earth that has been put in captivity. Let's understand one thing. We are, as a people, are the only people on the earth that's not represented by any government upon the face of the earth. and we was the first. We were the ones that were sold, and now we are not an asset anymore. And when we really look at what's happening to the black male, who is the seed bearer of our people, we can very well see that as a people, we are in deep trouble. So when we look at these things, we can understand that it is the corporate world that runs the world, that runs the government, and they tell us what to eat, what to drink, what to wear, and we get all of our monies that we buy our stuff for from corporate America. So truly, we are dependent on these things. Now, if you're interested in these things, come by the Culture Center and we can talk about these things out of the Bible. And we have a video that we'd like for you to see, and it's called One Nation Under Siege, and the Gentiles themselves. The prophets in the Bible told you how the God of all things is going to bring this about, but in this DVD, the Europeans are telling you how it's going to be done. My name is Jacob Ben Israel. Peace, and Yahweh be with y'all.